Hey, what's up everybody? Today we're playing Superstar JYP and Superstar STAYC, going to be going over the January 11, 2024 updates where we have new themes, we have 2 new star passes per game, and then we also have some additional banners they dropped on us, and I'm going to give you my opinions on all of it and whether or not I think it's worth pulling into these banners or not. First things first, we're going to hop into Superstar JYP, and ITZY did just release a new album last week, and with that we get 2 new ITZY themes. The first one is going to be the limited theme Born to Be, and let me start by saying I really like this concept. I think the dark concept is very cool, but looking at the banner itself, a few things to note here. First thing is that there is a limited period point reward where once you stack 250 points by buying into the packages, you will get a random Born to Be R grade card. Now this isn't as good as other point rewards I've seen where you end up with a selector, which is really good because it was really the only guarantee you had for banners, but in this case, no matter which packages you buy, no matter how many times you buy them, you are promised no guarantees, meaning that even after 10 pulls you could still be missing one member, which doesn't really feel too good. But looking at the point reward as something that you will get just randomly along the way as you plan on getting all 4 members anyways, it's a nice little bonus as you're pulling into the other packages. Looking at those packages, we have 2 packages that'll give you points. The first one is going to be the special package, which will give you 66 points and cost $21, and then you'll get an R grade random card, 30,000 RP, and then a 5-card premium pack. The other package that'll give you points is going to be the random R grade card for 300 diamonds. You'll get 60 points. And honestly, looking between these two, there really isn't too much of a difference. Spending real money only nets you 30,000 RP and a 5-card pack, which I don't think is really worth it in comparison to just spending diamonds, which you can get in game by attending daily, watching ads, things like that. So I don't really think this is worth $21 in my opinion. If you plan on just getting all 4 of the current members using the diamonds, just giving you a heads up that between all of the ways you can get the R grade cards, whether it's the point reward, whether it's the special package, or whether it's just paying with diamonds, it's going to take about 9 pulls statistically to try and get R grade cards of all 4 members. So just giving you that heads up in case you wanted to pay into this and you really like ITZY, you want all 4 of these current members, you're looking at about 9 total R grade pulls across all the packages and the limited period point reward. Now, one nice thing about this limited theme is that there is a card pack 30 where you can get the Born to Be limited theme. I already crunched out the math for y'all. It's going to take about 16 30 card packs in order to try and get all 4 members statistically. Now, one thing to note on this is that can be any grade. It could be R grade, it could be C grade. So regardless of grade, it's going to take about 16 total card packs in order to try and get all 4 members. Moving on to the next theme, we have the Ice Blue Silver theme, and my general rule of thumb is if it's not a limited theme, it's really not worth spending resources on, because as you look at the shop here, it costs dollars, it costs diamonds, and really I don't recommend that for anything that you can get randomly during the game. Actually, just by playing, I got one of these cards just from my random C grade card that you get for playing for 10 minutes a day. So I really don't recommend buying into this unless you really want all the ITZY themes and want to increase your odds of getting just ITZY themes. Now, one thing to note on this doesn't really affect gameplay at all, but it is something to just take note of, is that these 2 particular ITZY themes unfortunately don't include Leah. Leah is currently on a hiatus, so it is going to be a 4-card theme versus the standard ITZY 5-card theme. They did account for this where you'll get the bonuses after having 2, 3, and 4 cards versus the standard ITZY banner where you'd have to have 2, 4, and 5 cards. So no worries there, it is accounted for in case you wanted to use these cards in the future. But we all hope Leah gets better soon, and we all hope she gets back to ITZY as soon as she feels well. Alright, moving on to the next parts of the events. So we have 2 new star passes to go over, and while this loads, basically it's just going to be, the first one's going to be a star pass where it ends up with a card selector, and it's just your standard one where you'll get diamonds, packs, cards, RP along the way. So I did make a graphic to just kind of summarize all of this. So this is basically all the rewards you get, whether you're just doing the free rewards or whether you're including the premium pass on there. So as you can see, the premium pass does get more stuff. It gets a lot more diamonds, a lot more RP. The only difference between this premium pass and the previous one in December is that In the Premium Pass, you get 1,500 less RP and one less 10 card Premium Pack, but they added in there an additional 30 card Premium Pack. So all in all, you're trading 1,500 RP for a 20 card Premium Pack, which is pretty nice in my opinion. So that's going to be the Star Pass. One thing to note about these Star Passes, you don't have to buy it and then build up. You can get all the way to the end of the pass time frame where you can see how many levels you completed, and then you can determine whether or not it's worth buying. So what do I mean by that? So this is going to be the pass here. And you can complete all of these, you can get all of the tier points, and you can see how far you get before you decide whether or not it's worth buying into. So let's say I play all the way to the end of the event, I only get up to tier 35. Do I really want to spend money on the Premium Pass? Not really, because then I'd be missing out on diamonds, limited themes, I'd be missing out on the card selector. So you can play this event all the way through, get all the free rewards, and then determine if it's worth actually spending money on the Premium Pass. Now, one thing to note in terms of how much effort it takes to complete this Premium Pass, you're basically going to have to do all of the weekly missions from weeks 1, 2, and 3, and then you'll have to complete the daily missions fully about 10 times. So from now till February 1st, that's about 20 days. So as long as you fully complete 10 of those days and then do all of the weekly ones, you should be good to clear the event. So just keep that in mind in case you're trying to plan out how many days to play or how much time it's going to take to complete that Star Pass. The next thing is going to be the Special Currency Star Pass. I've never personally seen this in the shop before, but I think it's this really cool concept where it's a Star Pass where basically you get free RP, and then if you buy the Premium Pass, you get diamonds. And it's not a small amount of diamonds. It's going to be 1,480 diamonds for basically $21. Now, when you crank out the numbers, that's basically about 70 diamonds to the dollar, which is a lot better than the permanent deal, which is about 12 diamonds to the dollar. So if you really need to stack up diamonds, let's just say you're below the recommended like 2,500 necessary to generally complete a set or a theme, it's a nice way of stacking up diamonds very, very fast for very, very cheap in case you really needed to do that. Alright, the next thing I want to talk about is going to be these Goodbye 2023 packs, which look very, very interesting. Now, one thing to note about these Goodbye 2023 packs, the only real reason you pull into them is because of limited themes. And remember that limited themes don't offer you any sort of benefit over the standard themes. They just look extremely nice in comparison. And believe me, I get it. I'm into K-pop, you know, aesthetics really, really matter. So if you're a person who loves the limited themes, who really wants to collect an entire set, by all means, this might be the deal for you because there's a ton of ways to get the limited themes. One thing to note is that there is a limited period point reward, and this one does give you an A-grade card selector once you collect enough points, but it is only good for themes that occurred in 2023. So if you're trying to collect a theme that happened before 2023, this might not be the point selector for you. Now, in order to get the 200 points for the point reward, you'll have to buy either 8 of these, which is going to take you to about like $28-ish, or you're going to have to buy 20 of these, which is going to take you 2,000 diamonds. Now, I really don't recommend going the diamond route, to be honest. I'd really only do that if you plan on paying into this reward, and then you're just ever so close and you just need to spend a little bit more, and you don't want to spend actual money. That's when I'd use this to just get the 200 points necessary. But realistically, if you want to get to this point rewards the fastest, you're going to have to spend some money on it, and it's really not too bad of a deal, again, if you plan on completing a theme that came out in 2023. Now, just to deter some people on this, there's a 1.3% chance of getting a limited card from the 30 card pack. So I know 30 card packs, they look awesome, they sound really enticing, but you're looking at a 1.3% chance to get a limited card out of this pack. I don't really think that's worth it. So just a heads up, because if you do the limited theme collecting, you're still going to want a full complete set of a group. So for example, if you're pulling for twice, you still need 9 cards, all of the same theme, in order to get the bonus. So just keep that in mind. This is really a collector's banner. I don't think it's for the more casual player who should be saving their diamonds for things where they can win like photo cards, they can win signed Polaroids. So this is really just a collector's banner. Just keep that in mind. Alright, so looking at the next banner, which is the limited theme package for each group, this is again total collector's value, because again, these are all like limited themes or all of the themes for a particular group. So for example, let's say I'm pulling for the JY Park limited theme package, I'd only be getting JYP cards from this entire thing. But again, it's not really worth it if you don't want to spend money. It doesn't really provide you any sort of advantage over the non-limited themes. Yes, it is nice to get some power-up cards, but you'll get power-up cards from this game regardless, whether it's from mission events, whether it's from holiday events. So I really don't think these are worth it, even if you are a collector, because it could get expensive very, very fast for very little benefit. Like let's say, for example, you want to collect a ton of Twice cards, right? You're paying 10 bucks a pack and you're only getting like 11 cards out of it, not accounting for duplicates, and the pool is so big that you might not even be able to complete a theme. So really, I don't recommend this to anyone, but if you just want to try your luck, if you're feeling it, then by all means, you do you, you know what your budgeting looks like, but I really don't recommend this limited theme group package. Now, I did completely skip over this because I got too excited to talk about the rest of the stuff, but talking about the ITZY Born to Be new arrival event, there are some key things to note about this. So the first thing is that in order to get the one random A grade card, you only have to complete the Born to Be song once on normal mode with 3 stars, as opposed to the standard mission event where you'd have to complete the song 5 times in order to get that card. So that's kind of nice if you want to keep things kind of quick and try and get the card really quickly, but the trade-off is that unlike other mission events, by getting that one card, you do not get a second card that's a B grade one. Instead, you get a random S grade card. It might not even be ITZY, so that's kind of a bummer. It actually kind of means you need to pull more into the banner, and again, it takes about 9 pulls out of those R grade cards in order to complete the set. So just keep that in mind when it comes to trying to build this set. Is it going to be easy? Probably not. Do you have to spend a ton of resources? Probably. So looking at the other parts of the mission event, aside from that first mix-up in the first mission, where completing the song 5 times gets you an Ice Blue Silver A grade card, and then completing the song 1 time with 3 stars in normal mode gets you that A grade limited card. The rest of it's pretty standard, where you have to complete the song once in hard mode, and then there's some score point rewards. Mission 2 and Mission 3 are very interesting because Mission 2 is going to be based around the Born to Be limited theme, where if you collect all 4 of the members, you'll get a wallpaper, and then it's going to be the same deal for Mission 3, where if you collect all the members for Ice Blue Silver, you'll get the Ice Blue Silver wallpaper. So you get 2 different wallpapers in this particular mission event, which is very, very cool. Mission 4 is going to be your standard Mission 4, where you just basically play the game and you'll run into completing this anyways. And then by completing all of the missions, you get a limited profile set. So that's kind of nice because usually you have to pay for profile sets, so it's nice to have an option where you can get it for free. But otherwise, I don't really think this is worth completing, because what you get for completing all of it is basically going to be aesthetics, wallpapers, profile sets, and in general, if there's no like physical benefit to it, like a signed Polaroid, like a signed photo card, a signed album, I really don't generally recommend buying into the mission events, because those cost diamonds that could be used for events that get you those awesome free things. Alright, so moving on to the Superstar STAYC stuff. I know we talked a lot about Superstar JYP, but I really wanted to give my thoughts on all of the things here. Thankfully, some of the stuff translates over to the STAYC game. So first things first, we have a new limited theme update. So sweet, it's going to belong to the Star to a Young Culture theme, and really nothing different than any other STAYC banner that's out there. So if we are able to open it here, just like any other standard STAYC banner, you get the limited period point reward, which will give you an R grade card selector, the profile set, the starter package that gives you an automatic prism, the celebration update, which is a 3-day limited one where you'll get a guaranteed theme, as well as a card pack and some diamonds, but that one does cost money. And then there's the special package, which gets you a ton of points but does cost $23 per pack. And then the limited premium pack 10, which most people will be pulling on in order to complete the set without having to use actual dollars. And then finally, the limited premium pack 1, really just the one haha fun you want to pull every once in a while. Maybe you'll get lucky. Now, I generally don't recommend pulling for these simply because the mission event is not good, in my opinion. So it's just a standard mission event all the way between the missions, where at the very end of it, you will get a wallpaper. And just like I was saying for the ITZY Born to Be New Arrival event, if you're only getting a wallpaper, if there's no chances for like sweepstakes or physical rewards, I don't really recommend pulling on the banner, because you could be using those resources for a banner that will get you those more premium rewards or those physical sign rewards. Now, looking at the Star Pass, just like with the JYP one, it's basically almost exactly the same thing, except the rewards are a little bit different. So this is the graphic I made for that. Just like in Superstar JYP, you get 1,500 less RP in the Premium Pass and one 10 card Premium Pack less, but you net a 30 card Premium Pack, so basically 20 extra Premium Pack card. And that's going to be really it for the Star Pass. Just like with the Superstar JYP advice, again, you can complete this event as much as you can all the way up until the very last day, see where you are in terms of the tiers, and then you can purchase the Premium Pass if you feel like you've gone far enough to warrant spending the money. The currency pass is going to be basically exactly the same thing as Superstar JYP. Even the amount of diamonds you get is going to be the same at 1,480, and that's actually pretty meaningful because diamonds are a lot harder to come by in Superstar STAYC. Now, one of the big differences between the Superstar STAYC and Superstar JYP games are going to be these Goodbye 2023s and limited theme packages per group. I do have very different thoughts on them in comparison to the Superstar JYP one. So the nice thing about the Goodbye 2023 pack in Superstar STAYC is that this game came out in May 2023. Basically, that means all the themes that have ever existed in this game are available in this banner right now. And there's also a limited period point reward where once you stack up 200 points, you get a 2023 limited theme A grade card selector. Now again, that encompasses all of the themes because this game's only been out since May. So basically almost every single card, I think minus original themes, is gonna be available for you to pick up. So what does that mean for you as the player? It means that this might be worth pulling into. So in order to get 200 points, just like with Superstar JYP, we're looking at about $28 of buying into this pack, or 2,000 diamonds in terms of this pack. Again, we're talking about limited themes, so that means there's no benefit over the non-limited themes, but if you're into getting all of the themes and such, or if you really want to make a prism set, which is very important in Superstar STAYC because that's an additional 10% score on top of what you would normally get. This is nice because these card grade selectors allow you to pick prism sets, and then by buying into this package, you're guaranteeing a prism card. So just keep that in mind that this is a little bit more worth it in comparison to the Superstar JYP side of things. Looking at the limited theme package for each group, this is basically bait. Again, the game came out in 2023, so Goodbye 2023 is going to be way better, in my personal opinion, when it comes to budgeting, finances, then buying into this where it's $10 a pack, and then you get one prism card, that's cool, plus a random 10 pack, and then the power-up cards. I don't think that's worth it in comparison to this. Again, just like with Superstar JYP, you'll get the power-up cards eventually from things like mission events, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. Now, I know this was kind of a hefty video, but thank you all so much for watching. That wraps it up for my thoughts on the January 11, 2024 updates. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'd be happy to answer when I have the time. But that's all for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, until next time, take it easy.